Hi, I'm Elaine. Welcome to Top Tip Tuesday on my Stamp with Elaine Facebook page. If you're new to stamping and paper crafting and you don't have many supplies, by that I mean you don't have tools like a die cutting machine or a variety of label dies in different shapes and sizes. So my top tip today is how to create a slanted label. I'm going to stamp this a happy Valentine's Day greeting for this card, and I'm going to use Balmy Blue. Now if you're using a photopolymer stamp, photopolymer stamps are clear and so therefore it doesn't have a cushion, and if you want the ink to get into all the nooks and crannies, it's best to put it on some sort of foam mat. So I'm going to use the foam mat from my Stamparatus. It's also good practice to put a piece of grid paper, and these are specially designed as small grid paper to go in the Stamparatus, and that protects your mat from getting ink on it. So I'm just going to stamp the greeting on a scrap of paper. Now, one of the basic tools you have as a beginner is probably a trimmer or a paper cutter, and no crafter can be without one because you need to cut your cardstock and everything. So I'm going to trim this down because it's much too wide, and I'll use the grid lines on the cutter to help me trim it down. This is the cutting groove. There are two blades, a light grey blade and a dark blade. The dark blade is for cutting and the light blade is for scoring. So I'm going to push this way up against the edge so my paper won't move. So I've trimmed that down. Now I want to cut a slanted edge, so all I have to do is just cut it like that. Then the tip is you line this edge up with the grid line here. Now that's too far over. I need it so that it will cut beyond the message. And you can see that I've butted this slanted edge to the line, the horizontal line here, and that is parallel to the cutting groove. And then make sure I've held on to it firmly and then cut. And this way I get a perfect slant. This will mirror that because it's parallel to each other. So that's my top tip for today, and all I have to do is just stick it on my card. So I should put some dimensionals on the back. Remove the backing. Then I can just pop that there. So I hope you found this tip useful, and I'll be back with more inspiration next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.